Going to get our mission statement up here. So our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent action towards focusing on our controllables, we'll each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can possibly be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Reminders, we do not overtrade in here, and we do not over risk. You don't need to catch a trade today. Be a professional. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day, 3 if you see that perfect setup. Focus on capital preservation over capital appreciation. Obviously, capital appreciation is extremely important, but keeping your profits is even more important, and that's what we focus on. So, aka risk management is number 1. Keep your trading plan in front of you before you end up trading, right? Read it before you trade. Make smart decisions. We are system oriented, not how much money can we make on this. Also, I want you to think longevity, think efficiency, and think long term. We aren't here just to make as much as we can this week. We're here to learn, and we're here to get better as traders on a daily basis. We want to become better traders over the course of our lives. That's the focus. That's the mission. If you focus on that, you can be making plenty of money, I promise. Have a sense of urgency today. And then finally, eliminate excuses in any victim mindset. No matter what's going on in your life right now, you have the control, and you can do whatever you want as far as making yourself successful. But take full accountability for your actions. So we got Quentin in here. What's up, brother? Happy Tuesday. Almost like a Monday.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much, man. From our conversation, it seems like you're pretty pumped for the week.
Yeah, I want to go.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
I was just saying, like, I'm looking at gold right now. It's looking like it wants to go down.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get through this real quick. We're gonna go through the economic calendar over here, the PMI. Today's PMI day, and then we'll get right into the charts. So, looking at today, had a few good numbers, especially coming out of Great Britain, especially for us with GJ over here. We had better than expecting on manufacturing and services PMI. Also, zoo economic sentiment out of Germany exceeded expectations as well. Same thing over here. Zoo economic statement for sentiment for the Eurozone ended up coming out much higher than expected. So that's good. Looking over here, I know a lot of you guys don't really trade EJ or EU or any of these pairs over here, but if you take a look, French manufacturing PMI missed its mark of what it was expecting, and it's below 50 over here, which is not good for France. And then, but also looking at services PMI, looks like they're way above schedule over here. And I know they're more of a service-based country as well, just like the US. But looking at Germany, they missed the mark, also below 50 for manufacturing, but above the mark and above 50 over here for services PMI. But looking at the the US session and New York session over here today for CAD, we have CPI coming out for Canada and retail sales coming out as well. So that could rattle the markets a little bit. Maybe we might get a nice little push at 8:30. But the main focus over here is going to be flash services PMI and manufacturing PMI for the US. And you also have existing home sales coming out of the US as well, right? So towards the end of New York's, not towards the end of the New York session, but the end of the morning, right? Around 10, 11, 12. That's where I'm sure we're going to get some nice moves over here in like gold or any kind of US pair. Maybe GJ as well. That could end up moving that as well, but we'll see. But later on tonight, you have the bank rate coming out of New Zealand, right? So that's going to be a big focus over here for the Asian session. This is what I was talking about last week when it comes to looking at some of these, Australian, New Zealand, any of these pairs for the Asian session, to start back testing them and get used to them to see if maybe you could start catching some moves during the Asian sessions, because some pairs like GJ or gold, they're not going to be moving as much during Asian. But looking at Wednesday here for tomorrow, you have the G20 meetings coming out, IFO business climate coming out for Germany. You have a bank holiday for Japan, so it's not going to be that important. But FOMC meeting minutes is going to be going on tomorrow, so that'll be important. We'll see what they have to say. A lot of them seem pretty hawkish, keeping rates high. That's exactly what they want to be doing right now, and that's why you see gold coming down to start off the week as well and finish off last week. Last week we were pretty bearish on gold too. But looking at Thursday now, we got prelim GDP coming out for the U.S. Unemployment claims coming out for the U.S. G20 meetings day 2 is going to be going on Thursday as well. So maybe we get some nice volume around 8:30 for our New York session tomorrow or Thursday. And then on Friday, we got Urita is going to be speaking, right? The new Bank of Japan governor. So this will be important. I know Kuroda is going to be really looking at the currency markets, and that's what he was saying this morning. But right now, Urita coming in as the head of the Bank of Japan, we'll see what he's going to be saying on Friday. I actually want to take a close look at this, but PCE is going to be our main focus, right? Big focus for the week, as well as GDP over there on Thursday. But PCE on Friday is going to be a big mover. We'll see what inflation's coming out at. They're looking at an increase over here in January, so that'll be interesting if we get some more inflation. But inflation seems like it's starting to peak. It's not, even though it's rising just a little bit, it just goes in ebbs and flows, right? You'll have one month where it's lower, 1 month where it's a little bit higher, and then another month where it's lower. It's just starting to peak a little bit. So hopefully that's not higher. That'll be good for the U.S. But also on Friday, you got new home sales, University of Michigan consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. And then day 3, second to last day of the G20 meetings, is going to be going on Friday as well. All right, so that's our week. Again, GDP, PCE coming out this week. We got FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. And then New Zealand bank rate is going to be coming out tonight as well. So, and then again, CPI coming out for Great Britain or for Canada, and then services PMI and manufacturing PMI coming out for the U.S. today. So we'll see if we can get some moves this week. But I want a big week from you guys, focusing on actions, focusing on getting your things done each day, your daily musts. If you guys just focus on those, you guys are going to be very happy with yourselves every single day consistently. But looking over here at GJ, again, we're holding that support over here, 156, that previous resistance over here to the left. Nice bounce. Again, this candle respecting the low of the previous candle. Now we're really passing the high. Remember, we passed the high and then we were traced down here a little bit. Now we're really breaking the high over there with that new volume coming in from this week. So we got a clean move to the left. How much of this move can we continue up before price is going to start pulling back? Looking at GJ now on the weekly, I'm just going to move this down a little bit. You can really mark that off like that. Whole area price likes to bounce into over here. But right now, the more important factor is the fact that last week we ended up getting this strong bullish candle close right at that level, right? We obviously bounced off with that candle right there, ended up rejecting. Again, this candle, we end up pulling back into that area. That candle closes like that. Bottom wick forms. We passed the high this week, and now we're just off to the races with a clean move to the left here. All right, so that's great to see. I'm going to mark off that resistance right here in the daily. I'm going to go from that wick right there to that resistance right there to the left over here. So right now we're breaking right through that. We're tapping into that 200 EMA, and as you know, we've been really consolidating in here on the daily, on the weekly, on every time frame. Really, we've just been consolidating below 172, those yearly highs from last year, which we can mark off right now. We've been consolidating around that area, and that's why you see these EMAs all pretty much sideways, right? But now we're sitting right above that daily 50 EMA over here, right? We're starting to break above that area. But now we're starting to approach the 200 if that's what you guys want to use as some kind of a reference. But right now, price is just pushing up. That's all we see right now. Current daily candle cleared that bottom wick, passed the high last night, and now we're just off to the races here. So looking at the 4-hour, I'll show you guys the trade I ended up taking. It was basically the pass of the high of this 4-hour because that was such a strong bullish candle right here. This is a nice bottom wick, as we pass the high. I took it based on the 30-minute, but on the 4-hour, you could see it as well. And it's nice when all these time frames line up. But that's something that you guys could journal if you didn't get into that. But you get this clean move to the left over here, technically coming into 167 up here, which we know 166, 167 is a strong level, but that's your next resistance right there. But now what we have is some of these areas that price could end up rejecting. But so far, we're not even close to them. We could be coming up into one around 163,500, right? But once we get into that, we'll start to take a look at it at that time. But for right now, you just see a nice bullish 4-hour candle. Looking at the 1-hour, you had that little stall over here, right? Which is what I played based off of. And again, I took it based on the 30-minute. But the 1-hour, you get the strong close right here, another bullish close right there, but it's a lot weaker, right? So it's like, okay, are we starting to stall out over here? Maybe. But then this candle creates that bottom wick and starts to pass the high of that candle, right? And that's what I took that based off of. So now if you look at the 30-minute ended up holding a pretty nice support right here, didn't it? Right? We create this high, get that strong close, a little bit weaker, but still a strong bullish candle. Then you get like a little stall up here with that bearish candle, right? This candle never passes the low of that candle and then passes the high right there. That's what I entered off of right here with my stop loss below the bearish candle wick, right? So I was looking for the 1-to-1, but what happened was we passed the high. We ended up pushing up a little bit with this candle, pulled back a little bit, but we ended up closing a strong bullish candle. Okay, great, right? This candle obviously respects the low on the 30-minute, passed the high of that candle, and closes another strong bullish candle. Now this one created that bottom wick, and now passing the high of that candle, we're just off to the races here. And what I was expecting was a move like this right here, right? You get the stall, and now maybe we could get something like that. It gets a little less likely the higher you get because at some point we're going to want to pull back. But at the same time, like typically whenever you have a nice impulsive move like that and price ends up breaking out of the consolidation that it forms, you could end up getting the same move like that. But typically when you end up getting the same move on the other side, it's a pullback. It's like price pulls back, and that's like price action here, right? We're creating higher, lower highs, lower lows, and then price continues up. That's typically where you get that. Over here, 1 second. Over here was just like a little stall. We just pulled back a little bit for a second, and now we're continuing up, right? We could very well match that same exact move, but at the same time, it gets a little bit less likely because that wasn't like an actual pullback. That wasn't like, creating lower highs, lower lows, pulling back here, and then continuing back up. Right? So let's see what we end up getting over here. But what I ended up doing was I closed at 80%, and I was going to leave the runner during this breakdown, but I just ended up closing the full thing right after that at 10 pips, right around here. And again, it's not 1-to-1, but at the same time, like, you're pretty overextended over here. You're really holding support on this 10 EMA over here, which is not strong at all, right? So, and again, that's not one of our main confirmations, but you just know with moves like this, at some point before New York, maybe we could pull back and then continue up. But right now, price is just pushing up. If I was still in this right now, I'd probably end up moving my stop loss either below that wick right there or right around there, or just break even. But right now, price is pushing up. Does that make sense to everyone? Just grab your 10 pips. I know it's not 1-to-1, and we're gonna have plenty of opportunity to take some moves either later today or maybe tomorrow. But at the same time, it's just like you got to understand when you're doing these live streams. I want to give you guys all my attention. So that's GJ right now. At some point, you're not going to want to take a buy up here, right? I know we get the clean move to the left, but this is where you wait for at least a pullback like this before you take anything up. But right now, price at this point is overextended, and it's going to want to come back down to 162 at some point. Now looking at gold, gold is pushing down. This is kind of a setup, a little bit more advanced, but I could see what you were looking at here, Quentin, on the 30-minute. After that bearish candle close, is that what you were looking at?
More in the 1 hour.
More in the 1 hour. Let's see the 1 hour. Okay. I like that. Hell yeah. We had a support right here, right? That candle closed right below. This candle rejected it again. Top wick form, past low of that candle. Fairly clean move to the left here. Coming down into here. Could very well continue down. It might get a little choppy over here, right? At any point, it could pull back and then continue back down. But I could see that definitely working out. But let's go over to the monthly again. We got Dylan in here. What's up, buddy? And Lim. What's up, guys?
Morning.
Morning, man. How are you?
Morning.
Good. How's everyone doing?
Doing great, man. You have a good day at work?
Yeah, it wasn't
Awesome.
bad.
There you go. Dylan purchased a bench set and
Yeah.
some interchangeable dumbbells. He's ready to go. I love it.
Yes, I am. Yep.
Shit, man. All right. So looking at gold again, we got more of a hawkish Fed. We got meeting minutes next tomorrow, where right now they are pretty hawkish. They're a little bit more hawkish than they've been. They just want to combat inflation and want to get it down as much as possible. So that's where you're seeing this correction as price just keeps pushing down over here consecutively on gold. So now from last week as well, and the week before and the week before that, we've been pretty bearish. And again, like I keep saying it, I sound like a broken record, but I want you guys to journal a move like this. Aziz, you're talking about getting more into swing trading and stuff like that. These are some of the time frames you're going to be trading on. And after a move like this, right? Typically a strong candle close like that, where we pass the high and pass the low and close that strongly with a clean move to the left over here, we should be mirroring that move and continuing down. That's a nice liquidity grab and price continuing down. Now you just got to see where you would want to put your stop loss. All right. But right over here, we got that weaker bearish candle close like a doji. This candle respected the high, passed the low of it, and closed a strong bearish candle with a wick to fill. This current candle is now creating that top wick and flipping bearish to continue down and retest that wick. Right. So now what I want to do is kind of mark this area off right over here, where we've held support in the past, resistance, and we've rejected that area in the past as well multiple times, right? So we should be possibly coming into that area. Oh, I was actually going to show you this. This is my other chart. This was GJ right over here. So that's where I ended up closing 80%, and then I just got to edit it and mention I closed the full thing after that. But over here again, looking at gold right now, again, that is a strong area right there, right? But right over here, price ended up rejecting multiple times. And this is our most recent price action that we got to keep an eye on, right? That's that previous resistance. We've held support in the past, and then that wick came right into that area. Now, once we start breaking below that area, then we could start looking back at 1800. Obviously, 1800 is a psychological level. You could start looking at that area. Also, this is only the daily, so you know this resistance right here, or this support right here, is like a support in the lower time frames right over here. So that'll be your next target. But right over here, what are you guys getting? Lower highs, lower lows, right? Just continuing down. That's that move right there. So looking at the 4 hour, and then Aziz, if you look at this, this is that candle I talked to you about, where you're kind of like changing direction, breaking structure, and closing below that previous support right there. Top wick forms, breaks the low of that candle, right? In the higher time frames, if you see the weekly doing something like this, where it pushes up into that area, previous rejection area, right? We did something similar right over here. If you see something like that happening, and the fact that we were so overextended over here, right? That's where you could start to anticipate a move like that. And I believe I caught part of this move over here, but stop loss above this wick, somewhere up here for a safe stop loss, and you'd still be in this move a few weeks later. Get what I'm saying? Okay. So looking at the 4 hour now, 4 hour, you got a fairly clean move to the left over here, right? Right over here, that's that previous resistance. You honestly were rejecting this area over here as well. We kind of faked that area out a little bit, and we're breaking down. Now, I think last night you were asking me about this setup, weren't you, Aziz?
Yeah, I send you. I say it's go down, and I anticipate. And me, I don't trade, but I don't.
That's a good call because look,
Yeah.
what was I telling you to wait for?
Huh?
What did I tell you to wait for before taking sells there?
18. You say me 1830. 1830. I think I see your new what you say.
Yep. So right
Yeah.
over here, you ended up getting. I was just saying. I said 1838. Right.
1839. 1839. Say.
Okay. I was saying look for the close below the support, right? And
Yeah.
that's what we got with that bearish candle with the wick to fill. Clean move to the left. Stop
Mm.
loss could go right up here. And
Mm.
this is again another swing trade, another 4-hour trade that you could be executing to take this thing down. Just you want to wait for the close below that support, and I think you got that right there with that candle.
Mm.
Right now we're just pushing down. Quentin, did you end up entering this?
Yeah, but only a small position because I was late to the entry.
Okay, fair. That is fair. So now I want to just adjust this right over here. We've rejected that part in the past. And then over here, you're getting these wicks rejecting that area, but then you get that lower high formed, right? We're rejecting 1840 with the bearish candle close. This candle just pushed down over here. So now we're creating those lower highs, lower lows. Clean move to the left. Should be coming down into 1822. See the 30-minute. So now if you haven't gotten into this yet, you got 2 minutes before this candle closes. And what are you waiting for? Probably a close below this support right there, right? And if you get that close, and again, I'm putting it right there because of those wicks, and then you got that support right over there to the left. If you get it below that level, you know it's a safe sell to continue down, right? Again, you could put it right here on the candle bodies, but at the same time, like you could easily get faked out where this candle closes somewhere around there, and then all of a sudden you ended up rejecting these wicks right there, and you could get caught in a nasty range. So right there, we'll just readjust that there. Get that lower high forms consolidation over here. Now what you see here was consolidation, a breakout with this candle, and a nice push down into that area. Now you have another consolidation, a nice push out of the area. Can you get a nice move coming down into here? Right? Something right there. Clean move to the left. Now let's measure that move. Got about 53 pips. Right? So, and again, we're creating these lower highs. I love it. I think we should be continuing down. Just understand that you are kind of in a consolidation over here, right? Price did hold that support. This is going to be a nice close, hopefully. And maybe we could take this all down together. And again, this is really bigger than 53 pips. It's just 53 pips down into that support, right? But now we could end up getting a move coming down into this support right down here, which is around 100 pips. All right, we just got that close, right? Now, I think if I'm looking at this, this is the 1 hour. Look at the 4 hour again. Wouldn't want to get caught in this 4 hour, but I do think price could continue down. Yeah, especially with this, the way this daily looks over here, we should continue pushing down into that area. But looking at the 4 hour, 1 hour is pulling back just a little bit. So if let's say this candle ends up flipping bearish and passing the low of that candle, this is a healthy enough wick at this point where that could end up happening. Now you don't want it to happen right away, but if that ends up happening, I think a safer stop loss may be above this candle right over here or somewhere around like 1833. You guys get that? So let's see if we can retest this area up here a little bit. Part of me is starting to think that this could very well be the support. Obviously, yeah, we can put it there. I think that's right to put it right there. And if we can hold that resistance right there, get a classic break and retest, let's continue this thing down. Anyone have any questions on gold? Or anything to add? Is it good? Solid? All right. So now looking at US 30, let's take a look at US 30. I know it's been a little bearish here. Yeah. This monthly candle is now flipping, right? Tapped into the area. We got all-time highs up top. We have yearly lows from last year where we tapped into that area. Then all of a sudden the Fed gets dovish and we push all the way back into 35,000. Previous resistance over here to the left, right? So we tap into that area, tap into it again, then we end up rejecting it, hold a higher low at 33,000, hold this higher low over here and push up from it, hold support. This candle pushes up into those candle body highs, right? Candle body closes and opens, and then this candle rejects. Now we're flipping bearish and we're pretty much breaking our own lows here. Let me keep an eye on gold here for a second. Gold is creating that top wick, starting to flip potentially. Getting some good volume today too. Let's actually go back to gold for a second. Quinn, where's your stop loss?
Above the previous 30-minute.
Okay, nice. We're just gonna focus on gold for now, right now, and then because I don't even think any of you guys trade US 30 right now. I know you guys may be watching it. Short XU 221.23 at AM. Just gonna throw this for a second. Really. Wow. Now gold could take a little bit to drop here, so maybe we have time to break down US 30. I just didn't want to miss it. I want to journal it. What about the 2 wicks at 18:30.25 on the 4-hour? So this is the 4-hour. 18:25. Right over here, Lim?
Yeah, like if you scroll, if you zoom out a little bit more, I think there's another week.
Yeah, this could definitely end up rejecting gold and sending it up. But at the same time, what did we end up getting right here? Price pushed right through that, right?
Mhm.
How about over here? Pushed right through,
Yeah.
right? So if we get the right price action on all our time frames, a good chance that this could continue through as well, right? With that bearish trend, continuing this. Now, if this was the opposite way and price and the trend was the opposite way, then maybe this, you'd be definitely right where we could bounce off this area and possibly continue up if that was the case, but it's not. Right now we're in that bearish trend and we're just continuing down right now so far. Did I take a 4-hour? Looking at the 1-hour. $30-minute, okay, 30-minute. We're getting that 7:30 volume as well. This thing's starting to flip bearish. Got the clean move to the left. And again, on gold, I think a safer stop loss might be above that candle. Yeah, like, wow. Wow. Right. 2-minute. See, the 15-minute kind of had this support right down here, kind of where I had it drawn out anyway. Right? And we keep rejecting it. This candle closed below. Next 15-minute closed below as well. This candle just pushed into that area, and we're now rejecting it as well. So I think I'm just going to keep that support right there. I could see this 4-hour, like obviously it filled that wick. I could see it making a push during New York and continuing down at least the size of that candle. Because like you had a candle fill this whole area with one candle, right? This one so far has two, but it could definitely be possible where we fill that whole area with just two candles. You guys see that?
Yeah.
All right, so it's possible. So with New York volume, we could just be pulling back right now during pre-New York, getting that retracement, and now we continue right back down, at least for like maybe 50 pips here. But right here, the 1-hour, I mean, you could argue that maybe you want the 1-hour candle to close. Next one's going to create a top wick, pass the low, and then continue down. But right now, 30-minute is flipping bearish. And if it does pass the low, I think I'm going to enter this, but with my stop loss somewhere up in here. Kind of where Quentin has his stop loss. Let me just get this thing ready. No. Let me see. Target will be right down here. That's more than 1-to-1. If my stop loss is above that, so it would be something like this. And I'm looking for at least something right into that area. See that? That's 1.5. Someone say something? All right, we're starting to pass. In.
I'm in this trade.
Okay. Nice. And again, save stop loss up here. Now you got plenty of opportunity to measure risk or manage risk. I'm sorry. Strong. Here. Close below 1832. Impulse entry. Gee. Safe stop loss. Okay. Now again, I have a stop loss here that factors in the 1 hour candle close too. Right? So now you're not as like anxious during that 1 hour close. You don't feel the need to maybe secure as much or secure at all so that this thing can continue right back down. And you can factor in that 1 hour wick. So now put that right there. Also got my iPad back, by the way, so now I can get that buzzer going. Oh, dude, side note, you know what I got this weekend? I got the sickest sound system for our living room. So it's like night and day. Like we have a nice TV, whatever, but the sound was like okay, it would get loud, whatever. But this is like it vibrates the whole living room. Like if you're watching like if you're listening to good music or anything like that. I like technology, so you gotta treat yourself.
What brand is it?
LG. Yeah, I got a great deal from Best Buy on it. And it's insane. We were watching have you guys heard of that show, The Last of Us? Oh yeah, I was telling you about this, right, Lenny? So
Yeah.
we just started watching it. Like I said, we pretty much watch maybe 20-30 minutes of TV every night before bed. And we just started getting into this, and it watching it with this sound system is insane. So now we're pulling back over here. My risk management for this trade is if we get any kind of close above this area. So now it's not doing what we're planning, right? We planned for this thing to pass the low of that candle and continue down. Now it could be just giving us that retracement a little bit and then continuing back down, but right now we just got to keep in mind, what could end up happening here. Where we could get a pullback into this area and then continue back down. This 1834.
Or maybe we're waiting for the 8 o'clock volume.
8 o'clock volume could give us a nice push, yeah. 35. That's gonna stop loss. Good. Okay, not that. Still in that. Yeah, this again, typical gold could be pulling back a little bit before continuing down. That's why you really want to wait for candles to close here on the on gold to either enter or obviously impulse entries, we waited for this candle to close below that area before taking this impulse entry. But when it comes to managing risk, you really want to wait for candles to close in your direction or against you before managing risk. But you see how, like, if we put our stop loss above this candle, you guys would be sweating a little bit more right now. You're not sweating right now with it being up here. Now, if this was 8 o'clock already, right, and we were passing low and stuff like that, maybe we can have it closer. So the 15-minute candle ended up just closing, but rejected that area again. Closed below with that candle, closed below with that candle, but a little bit weaker. This candle did close bullish here, right, but weaker, and rejected this resistance again. So we're still holding a resistance at this point. Look at that 5-minute right over there. We ended up closing and retesting that area right there. I'd like to see that area continue to hold resistance. Get my risk management ready. Oh, let me take a few screenshots here. Thirty minute pullback. 7:46 a.m. Minute. It's pulling back more than I'd like. Minute. Now what you could do is use this 1 minute over here to see if we end up closing here in the 1 minute above that resistance right there to the left, right here. Because we could still, we've been creating lower highs. We're trading with the trend, right? And we've been creating these lower highs over here in the 1 minute, right? So can we end up creating a lower high here and respecting that resistance and continuing down? If we close above that area, all right, maybe it's time to start managing risk. Also passing the high of the previous 15 minute right over here. The only thing is, like, it's difficult to measure where that support actually is. Is it right here because we have rejected that area multiple times, or is it right here and we're just retesting that area to continue back down? Yeah, 15 minutes passing the high of the previous 15 minute. That's typically where I end up managing risk anyway. I'm just going to take half off here and I'm going to let the rest run. I'm not going to manage risk anymore, right? If we keep pushing up, I'm going to let my full stop or half my stop loss get hit, and I'll be okay with that because I don't want to micromanage this. And now if we end up holding a resistance or rejecting this area at any point again, and we get a nice setup, then I can re-enter, and I'll show you guys how I do it. Yeah, Lim, when it comes to liquidity providers, it's not so much brokers, it's a liquidity provider. Whenever that ends up, whenever you have a different one, typically they'll give you different price action. It looks a little bit different. Close 50. That's closed. After. Keeping an eye on this 1 minute. So we got 10 minutes left before 8 o'clock opens. Yeah, this is where you stay cool, calm, collected. This is your setup. You know, you waited for this candle to close clearly below even this support over here, if you had it right there, right? But on the 30-minute, if we just keep rejecting that area, we finally get that close below, right? Now we could just be retesting that area to continue back down. So you're not breaking rules or anything like that. Sometimes when you guys take trades with your setups, they're not always going to play out. And you guys got to understand that, right? You don't have to be 100% correct in the markets to be a successful trader. Quentin, how's your trade going?
I closed 75% at break even.
Okay. Where was your entry?
1832 flat.
1832 flat. Oh, okay. Oh, you took it over here. Okay. On the 1 hour, on the break of the low.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
see-
a little late to the break of the low.
Yeah. This also, again, is the 1 hour, right? And could just be, it may end up closing, hopefully below this area, which would be great, and just creating a wick to fill. Now the next one creates that top wick, flips bearish, and continues down to fill that wick. So we'll see if that ends up happening. But again, I did my job. I cut my 50%. And we'll see if we can hold that resistance. Who else is in this? Lenny, are you in this?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's your stop loss, take entry, all that stuff?
Stop loss at 1835.43.
Nice. Okay. You made it even higher. 43. Oh. Yeah, no, pretty much same area.
And entries at 1830.64.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the, I think it's retracing to the support. So if it goes higher where it is, I'm gonna take 50% off.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay, you didn't manage it?
I'm gonna manage it right now.
Okay. You just know you're gonna get that pullback or that top wick most likely on the 1 hour, because you've had, these are the last candles that didn't have a top wick yet, right? This candle did right here, this one, right over here as well. But if we could get a strong close here and we don't reject this area, close below it, this would be nice for this thing to continue down. She's gonna take a screenshot of the 1 hour. Anyone go through their pairs from last week and journal the trades they missed or should have gotten? Nobody?
No,
No, Izzy's?
no.
Missing out on an opportunity.
For gold now?
What about gold?
What you say? I don't listen.
So what we like to do is I like to journal trades like at the end of a week, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, journal
Okay.
all the trades that you missed, right? All the trades that you missed for the previous week and journal how you would have taken it, all the screenshots, just like if you're taking it in the live market, and then
Okay.
study that trade, write about it, and write about it multiple times. Like, you know, I can write about it in the description. I can write about it in my trading AAR, and I can write about it in a different document on maybe Google Docs about what that trade. So that's 3 times that setup and that trade is sticking in my mind.
Okay.
He didn't even break down US 30 yet. EJ's still pumping. You know what I just remembered? We do have Flash Services PMI coming out later as well. Could end up waiting for that. Giorgio, did you manage risk it?
No, I'm gonna wait for this 30 candle close and then I'm gonna
Okay.
call.
I don't like how strong it is. Or how strong it's about to close. But I mean, the 1 hour still bearish, right? 4 hours still bearish. Leaving a wick to fill as well. So if the 4 hour closes like that, that'd be nice. Hey, Quentin, you guys ended up doing that dinner? Or the lunch on the boat or something?
Yeah.
Nice.
So we had the lunch on Sunday. That was great.
Good
We
food.
had like a sunny day. It's been sunny in Paris like for the past 3 days. Like I don't know where. Don't know why it's blue sky. That
Nice.
was nice. Yeah.
There you go. Good to hear you guys had a good time.
Yeah. Definitely.
Good food.
Yep. Generally, it's medium food, but that one was pretty good. I was with all the tourists.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, American
American?
couple. Yeah, American couple right next to us.
Nice. Were they nice?
I didn't really talk to them,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, it was cool.
All right. 1 hour just closed, 30-minute close. Now close a weak bearish candle, but with a wick to fill. I don't like that. But again, I already managed risk down here, so I'm gonna let it go. But it keeps rejecting this support over here.
I closed the full thing.
You close the full thing? Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at is there is a possibility for it to be a deeper pullback into that range to then continue right back down. I'd be managing risk again if this was counter trend. It's not looking good. As long as this 1 hour candle respects the high of the previous in the downtrend, we'll be good. And then again, there might be an opportunity if like the only way you'll know if this is just a deeper pullback into this range is if one of these candles, this one or the next, closes below 1832,500. If we can close below that area over there, then we know that that was just a deeper pullback and we're going to continue down. And there might be an opportunity for a re-entry. Now, whether you want to re-enter early now or not before the PMI and stuff comes out, that's up to you. But there could be an opportunity if you get a good setup. Because we just created a range. We created a low down here. You know what? I'm gonna take a picture. Again, take screenshots. Take a picture of the 1 hour here. One hour close. The 30-minute.
Mm.
1 minute. You guys take a look over here too. This is the 5-minute structure. We consolidate, impulsive move, consolidate, impulsive move, consolidate, impulsive move, consolidate, impulsive move. Could end up happening, maybe. But we keep rejecting that trend line over here in the 5-minute. Again, 5-minute, not that strong at all. So don't take too much stock into it, but it could end up rejecting that area. It's also honestly a 30-minute trend line as well. You see this 1 minute? See how we're creating that higher low over here? Don't like that. We got that liquidity grab. But we could be getting that double top too into this trend line here and then continue right back down. Which would be nice, but that could be wishful thinking. Yeah, we're passing the high over here. This might be done. Chargio, do you manage risk?
Yeah, close out.
Okay, good. So we got in a little early, right? It was a good setup, right? Consolidation, we break out, solid close below. This is why it's so important sometimes to really wait for that retest before taking this thing down. All right, I am stopped out. Yeah, stopped out. Okay. It's fine. So let's take screenshots of this. A lot of rangy price action with like one impulsive move. Rangy, impulsive move, rangy, impulsive move, and then rangy. It's just very choppy right now. Very choppy. So 30-minute. Stop out. Minus 40 pips. Minus 40 pips. So over here, now what you're gonna do is edit your title. Minus 40 pip loss on that time. At what time did we take this? We took this around 7:35, right? Got that pullback over there. No, 7:30 over here. We pushed down 7:35, I'd say, yeah. And then we can get the exact time on the 1 minute. More so around like 7:39, I think we took this. Somewhere around there. Let's see, 7:39 a.m. This is a loss. I would say it's all right risk management. I think we could have maybe managed a little bit earlier, but at the same time, it was you know, I kind of gave it more of a chance, especially with a wider stop loss. Let's see, make this the cover. Okay. So now with this, now we start typing in the description. What are we thinking about this trade? What could we do better with it? And why did we end up taking it? So with bearish price action all morning and a strong close below consolidation. We waited for the top wick. Great. And past the low of previous solid close before entering. Safe stop loss placed below previous safe stop loss placed above 1 hour and previous 30-minute with plenty to manage risk. There's plenty room to manage risk. So now if you look at the 1 minute over here, we ended up tapping into that area. That was the wick that we created, right? 730, 731, create that top wick, healthy top wick. As soon as we start to come down into this area, we end up holding a support exactly at that same support on the 1 minute, right? So exactly at that wick fill, as soon as we pass the low, we really didn't go anywhere before continuing up. This is how you use the lower time frames to manage risk. Once I'm sure, I would say like once you get maybe a close like that, then you could start anticipating, like we closed above that little resistance that we formed where price could potentially continue right back down, right? But the fact that we just closed like this right above that area with that candle, that can start to hint to you, you know, that we may be going the opposite direction and we're not doing exactly what we wanted, where we wanted to create that top wick, break the low of this wick over here, and now continue right back down. So this is what we always talk about, where it's like you're focusing on becoming a better trader every single day. Obviously, you're trying to make money and all that stuff. That's the main focus, or the main objective. But the main focus is getting better every single day and just seeing where you could perfect. So over here, what I could do is just put like a little arrow over here to signal to myself that over here, maybe this is an area we can manage. 1 minute price action where could have clear rejecting 1 minute support. Does everyone understand how to read lower time frame price action like this, or do you want me to explain it?
Please explain.
Explain it? Okay. So you understand that these candles over here can look similar on the 30-minute, right? It's the same kind of candles that we're getting over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now on the lower time frames, as you're getting lower, right? Like, you know, every 1 hour has 60 candles. So that 1 hour candle, 60 candles make that, 60 1 minute candles make up that 1 hour candle. So you got to have that top wick formed past the low, which is now a resistance or pullback on the 1 minute, and now, you know, a break of the previous low that was created on the 1 minute to now create a lower low on that 1 hour candle and a new low on that 1 hour candle. Now, when you see the 1 hour retracing, you're seeing that support formed on the 1 minute, and it's starting to pull back, right, to create maybe a lower high on the 1 minute, and then it continues down to create a new low if it breaks that 1 minute low. So it's all the same. So now when you're looking at this on the 15-minute, that 15-minute, technically it did close a weak bearish candle over here. So that's one hint for us to understand that, all right, maybe price may be going the opposite direction, especially with this candle closing like that. It's like they're 2 week candles and they do close below that area, which is, you know, a hint for us. But I wanted to give it that chance for it to maybe retest this area. But if it created that bottom wick and passed the high of that candle, I closed 50 right there. Now I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'm going to explain the rest of that for you in a second. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Lenny, you with me?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now, do you have the simulator yet? I forget. You're muted.
Sorry, what was that?
Do you have the simulator yet? I forget.
Yeah, I do.
You do. Okay. So one thing, and how big is your screen?
I think
Or your
36,
biggest screen?
36 foot
36 inches.
inches. Yeah.
Um,
34. 34.
34. That's plenty big. So what you can do is imagine 34-foot screen. What you can do is open. You know how like on the simulator, what I'll do is like have. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. This is what I'll do on the simulator. I'll have the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, and sometimes I'll open up the 5 and the 1 minute over here. And just keep an eye on it. I don't want you to manage risk on those yet. I want you to manage risk if you're looking at the 30-minute, manage risk on the 15-minute. If you're taking it based on the 30-minute, manage on the 15. If you're taking on the 1 hour, manage on the 30-minute. But you know, as you start to get more advanced and understand your pair, then you could start using some of these. But I want you to keep these open over here just to keep an eye on the way price is moving and the way it's rejecting on certain areas. Okay. But over here, again, like you're going to start to see certain clues over here where like we held support right there. We come up, we create that lower high over here and close. But look, that 5-minute candle could have been one hint for you that, okay, we just closed with no bottom wick over here, right at that same exact support. We closed a strong body, but no bottom wick, no top wick either. but this candle ends up closing bullish right at that support as well. Now, there's going to be many, many times when you first start doing this, like I did. I went through the same exact thing where you're micromanaging a lot of trades. And there's still trades that I micromanage using these lower time frames. But eventually, you're going to really start to get a clue. Like, you want to be watching hours on top of hours of the 1 minute. And this is where, studying 1 to 2 pairs really comes in handy and not trying to focus on so many different ones, because each pair is different. And they all move differently on every single time frame. So just getting used to those, it takes a long time to really master 1 pair, let alone 2, or let alone 5 or 6. You get what I'm saying? Like the 5 or 6 comes with time if that's something that you want to do down the road. But master 1 thing. Same exact thing with a lot of you guys focusing on so many different avenues of trying to make money in entrepreneurship and trying to do so many different things. Focus on trading right now. Focus on your main the one thing that's really going to bring you out of wherever you're at right now and into all these other entrepreneurship journeys where you can use the funds that you trade with and start pouring that into other avenues. Start pouring that into property. Start pouring that into a store. Whatever you guys want to do. But just master 1 before you move on to the next. But yeah, again, I don't want you managing on that simulator. I want you to follow in the trading plan that we put together, but just keep those 2, the 5 minute and the 1 minute on that side screen and watch how it plays out. Because you're really going to start to get a good idea if you just spend hours doing that and watching the way it moves. All right, so this was a little disappointing, but that's all right. I think most of us manage risk. Sharjeel, are you happy with the way you manage risk?
Yeah, I only lost 0.8%.
Beautiful. And how much do you risk?
1%.
Okay, that's good. Lim,
I could have managed better. But
what was that?
I said I could have managed better, but
Okay, where'd you end up cutting 50?
just before the 30-minute close.
Before the 30-minute close. Okay, so somewhere up here into this range.
Yeah, just like a bit below it.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I think I could have closed earlier, right? I did close below this area, right? But at the same time, like just understanding the way we were kind of like holding support down here. And just maybe it was a little overextended, maybe. I don't know. And then also on the 5 minute, again, like you really got to find that balance of micromanaging and really, sniping a risk management, which is always a nice thing to do when you do it the correct way. But you just don't want to micromanage your trade. I mean, maybe I could see, again, after that bullish close right here, right? Or after this one created its bottom wick and passed the high of that bearish candle right there. That could have been another area that we manage risk. Lenny, you see how I'm looking at that? Because we keep rejecting the support here. So like again, we hold support right there, so that's our low. But then this candle closes right at that area with no bottom wick. Okay, we're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it move. Okay, 5 minute candle holding support in that same exact area. Okay, and with a wick to fill. Okay, now we could start thinking, all right, maybe we can cut off 25%. Maybe not 50, but 25%. And then over here, once that candle passes the high over there, maybe another 25% or another 50. Again, it's a constant balance. We're always looking at this in the morning, right? It's a constant balance of trying to master preserving your capital, but also trying to make what you can on that one trade. But the preserving your capital is more important than trying to make as much as you can on that one given trade. That's the one misconception a lot of traders have, is they try to focus too much on like this trade has to be right. And I can't lose any money on this. No, this trade could be wrong, and you don't want to blow your profits for the last trade or blow your chances of making even more money with the next trade. Just thinking over the overall week, the overall month, you guys are thinking long term of how much money you can make over the course of the year and build up and compound in your account over the course of, like I said, the week, the month, the year. Focus on that and not that one given trade. Yeah, I think we're just gonna end up ranging over here. I should have kept this in mind too. The fact that and again, it wasn't a bad setup, right? We got that strong close, bottom top wick form, past the low, but just keeping this in mind, flash services PMI, right, coming out could very well end up ranging until there. But this is something that you're gonna write in your description. And also I'm gonna be writing myself in the trading AAR. So that's 2 times I'm writing it. And then when I do that full week review later in the week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what I'll do is write this again in that document that I have of what I go through in the week. And this is the document I write in when I'm reviewing my trades. And that's 3 times on this setup. Now they start to stick. All right, so right there. There, keep these little $5-minute earlier management. Would close 25% after first bullish 5-minute close. Another percentage after the next. Oh, that's
Stefanos, I have a question.
sure.
I think in 1835, 65 is big resistance. The gold, he come in there, he grab the money after he go down.
Okay,
Because
let's
big
take a look.
if you see for 5 minutes is a lot. And he retest man. He's 1535, 60.
Let's go.
He's grab the money and he go down now.
Okay. Now, if you look, we'll take a look at that level in a second. Now, this level right here, I think this is kind of what Lim, is this what you were pointing at?
My let me see your chart because I think mine had like 2 weeks, which your chart didn't have.
You want to
Let me-
send a
I'll
picture?
send- yeah, I'll send a link in the Zoom chat.
Thank you. Now, this is something that we can look at right now, right? And take a picture of this daily right here. How can I just like draw something here? Yeah. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this and put this right in here. We were selling into that daily support as well. Support. So just keeping that in mind. Okay, that's one hint that, all right, because you want to ask yourself why. Why didn't this trade play out? So you got to ask yourself these certain questions here. So now again, you had this support right over here as well. The price we were selling into. Again, it could have pushed through, got that clean move to the left that we broke through multiple times, but right now it's just not just didn't have the volume to break through that area. But what could give it volume to break through that area is this PMI coming out. 4-hour support as well. See all these little details? Right over there, I'll take a screenshot of this zoomed out. 1 hour. Zoom out. Section. Lim, I think you sent that, right? Oh, but let me see. Yeah. Yeah, what would have been probably better is waiting for the 1 hour candle to close below that area. Again, I don't think we did anything wrong, right? Could have been more patient, but the setup we took was not risky, right? Setup we took made sense. Strong 30-minute candle close with a wick to fill. It's not like this candle didn't have any bottom wick, but you know, it ended up rejecting. All right, so Aziz, you were just saying you could see 1835 800 right over here, or 1835 flat holding resistance.
Yeah, I sent you a picture in your message now to show. I short, in your private, yeah. I short in this area, because it's big resistance. And I take 10 pip and half. I make half. I take 50% profit, and I make flat after to protect my risk.
Okay.
And because I know in gold he go in big resistance, he grab the money after he go down. I know the momentum is down, is bearish.
Okay. Do
I
you know or
don't-
do you think?
I test a lot thing. I test the gold, and the major he make like that. He go. You must to put where is big resistance like that, because I don't follow you the first, but I know he go in there after he go down, because I test a lot of gold, and he make a measure, and my risk is the same. Is broke. This is 1835 65. I go finish. My risk management is so small,
Okay, good. So your risk on this is very small, right?
Exactly. When he broke this, it's finished. The momentum is finished.
Okay. So was this trade strictly based off the 5-minute?
5 minutes, yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, 5 minutes, because I like to take 10. That's it. It's like fast.
Now, one thing that's playing against you, if you took this strictly based on the 5-minute, is the fact that what did we just break right here?
Because I listen what
Wait,
you say.
just 1 second, Aziz.
I
Just answer that question. What did we just break right here?
This the triangle. I put this because you say 1 minute to be like that. After he break, he go down. I listen
don't know
what
what
you
that
say.
means.
This line, what I put
Yes, the trend line,
is same
right?
like you. Yeah, same like you, because
Yes.
before the candle he move up, I listen what you say. You make the same line like me, but he break and he go out. He's no fake up.
Were you
Donc
just
me,
stopped
I
out?
say, yeah.
You were just stopped out?
After I think is he go in the big resistance 1835. In this, when I see the candle to be red, I short. And my stop loss in there is like he take 10 pips.
Okay.
And now I don't now I'm yes, now the market is go up, and I don't lose. I take 50 and I don't lose now no money.
Oh, you didn't lose anything. Okay, good.
No.
So now, before taking a trade like that, all I was asking you right over here was we just broke this trend line. So I'm just gonna explain. I'm not gonna ask you questions. We just broke this bearish trend line, right? So now you see like a deep pullback over here, a price coming in. So now there's a chance that price pushes down like it did right over here, right? And now holds support in this key area, right? Where we've held support in the past over here. There's a chance that we hold support right in there, bounce off, and continue right back up, right? Now there's a chance that we reject that area, which I think there's more of a chance of that happening. But what you need to wait for, if you're going to take any kind of sell over here, right, is wait for this area to be broken and hold that resistance to continue down so that you know that you just faked the trend line out and you could continue down. So like just because you got the 1 5-minute candle here, right? That closed, I think it closed, right? Just because you got that 5-minute candle closing right over there does not mean we're going to continue down. You're trying to trade in this 5-minute consolidation over here and trying to trade against that. I think safer sells would be below this area, or more so, I would say like below this area here on the 30-minute. If the 30-minute can break below here, I could see price continuing down. Safer would be below that low right there, but at the same time, like trading in this consolidation right over here before we get Flash Services PMI at this time, like it's 8:32. I don't think that's worth doing, right? At least wait for, if you're going to take this over here, at least wait for a 30-minute candle to close bearish or a 15-minute candle to close bearish, because the 5-minute is not enough. And the 5-minute, you just broke your minor trend line here. And see how we're we're retesting it and holding support. Now, that doesn't mean we have buys here, right? That doesn't mean we have buys here until maybe you break this area. If you're strictly trading on the 5-minute, this might mean that, okay, we may have buys. Now you got to just measure the range. All right, 37 pips. That's probably the lowest that you're looking for on gold, but it's possible. So that might be your buy right there, and your sells will be most likely below this area over here. Once you break below here, then you got that whole range. Does that make sense?
Me buy if he broke. I don't like to be buy because the momentum is bearish. I don't like to
Good.
be opposite of the momentum general.
Good.
Donc I don't make nothing. I stay away.
We're on the same page with that, right? So like this would be counter trend buying, and this would be foolish, right? I'm just saying if you're looking to take something like that, this would be the maybe safest buys to take. Like just because we're breaking this trend line, and this goes right with what you're saying, because you think we have a sell right here to continue down, which very well could happen. But I'm saying like if you were to play against that, right? And you're trying to do what you were doing just in a buy form, right? In a buy market, that person would be foolish as well, just trying to take the buy down here to break up. The better thing to do would be to wait for that break to close above that area. The only reason I'm telling you about this is because it's the same thing for you over here, where now we're just kind of consolidating here. You don't want to take any sells in here just yet, even though we're bouncing off that resistance. You'd rather wait for that close below that area, and you'd rather wait for that data to come out too. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Now, I love the fact that you manage risk here on the 5-minute, right? You said you didn't lose anything?
Nothing, yeah, because
Right.
I take big size. When I take 10, I take 80% and I keep 20%. I
Okay.
make my money.
Well, again, you always this goes for all of you guys. Like whenever you guys take a loss or what's it called? Anything about a trade, there's always going to be something that you could have done better on it, or there may be some negatives about it. But one thing that you always want to pay attention to is the positives. And Aziz, the fact that you didn't lose anything on that, even though it's a trade I definitely wouldn't be taking right here, it's still a positive because you did manage risk the right way. So you want to keep reiterating that you manage risk the right way so that you keep doing it. So I like the fact that you did that. It's just that I wouldn't be taking this trade. I would just stay out of that. Are you journaling your trades yet? Or do we still have to go through that on your Zoom?
After that, I make my journal. Yes, I go to make my journal.
What's up?
After session, after 9, I make my journal to write my journal.
Okay. I would do it right after your trades. Like that goes for all of you guys. Like just write in your journal as you're trading. Before you end up taking the trade, take the higher screen time shots, just like I did over here. Like I took all these down here. I took these about an hour ago before the trade. Right? And then I'm just taking screenshots as I'm through the trade, and I'm writing here right? Just so I'm learning about that trade. We got a nice big pullback over here on this trade right here. So again, I want to take another screenshot. $30 eat. And TJ's just pushing up over here. I could have stayed in that. Okay, so this is done. Go back to the higher time frames for a second. So the 4 hour over here is now pulling back. Right? You're technically in a big range right here. Right? So now that we pulled into this area over here, we just pulled back. Wait a minute, Lim sent me, I'm sorry, Lim. You sent me this. Okay, so you're looking over there to the left at price possibly rejecting the area. This is the 4 hour. Yeah. Yeah, you're looking at the same thing over here. So that bottom wick rejection. Yeah, again, because if you break down this price action, what do we get? We got this low being formed, right? We pull down, right? Get the nice impulsive move. Then we kind of consolidate in this area. We pull back over here, pull back, close back above that resistance right there, and then we pull down to create this low. Then we pull up, but not only pull up to that area, we break through that area to create that resistance. And then we get that bearish candle close, right? Then we get the lower high being formed here, lower high, lower low, breaking the lows over here, breaking this support. But anywhere in this area, we can end up pulling back in, right? We can end up pulling back into this area and then continue back down because this is all a range after breaking above that area, right? And it's really all a range after this candle broke above that wick and broke above that area because now you're sitting right back in the air. So it just kind of ran out of momentum, pushing down into this area. Honestly, we did sell into that area, which was not the smartest thing, but lower time frames made sense where we could continue to push down. And we would have been sitting here kicking ourselves if we did continue down over here. And our setup that was on the 30-minute that made sense ended up playing out. You would have missed the trade. So again, you risk a lower amount. This makes sense over here after the close below that area, but you know, maybe we could have been more patient, waited for like some kind of a retest in here to continue down. That's why retests are so important. Make sense, everyone?
Okay.
Anyone
Yeah,
have
I
any
mean,
questions?
on the 15-minute, it looked a lot like a setup. That was also like a sell on gold. In December, I think I have the journal. I'm gonna set it into what do you call a Discord because
Great
I'm not.
job, man. Let's take a look.
If you want to take a look at it.
Oh, that's not it. It's our chat. Yeah, when you guys send these links and the you know, screenshots and stuff, either send them into Zoom or send them into the New York channel. I just don't want to pull up our personal conversation while we're on the Zoom here. So this was a trade on gold. We're rejecting that resistance. Okay. In that bullish trend, but you sold into it a little bit. Okay, for 1 hour makes sense. We're pushing down. Yeah, it does look similar. 1796 holding a resistance.
the
Top
fact
of-
that we have like such an impulsive and huge bullish move to the left to mirror, and that now we are making like lower highs and lower lows, and we get the 15-minute close just below the last support, and then it just keeps dropping.
Yeah. Yeah, this
So that was like when we got the 15-minute close below, I thought this would be the continuation, but ended up holding.
kind of like this.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one.
Yes, I mean, again, if we just keep looking at this, and this is what I encourage you guys to do all the time, just keep studying your moves, studying your setups over here, and understanding like why. Keep asking yourself that question: why did it pull back? Why didn't it play out? And you're just looking at all these time frames. You're looking to the left, and you see all these rejections now in that area, right? I don't really think we had that many over here on what you were looking at here. I do love this setup over here. Right, got that fake out of 1796, strong bearish candle, little pullback, but that candle pretty much closed right at that level. And it kind of closed below, kind of didn't, but these are those kind of advanced setups that we always talk about where it does kind of close at that level. Just wait for the top wick. As long as it passed the low, put your stop loss up here. I would put it maybe above that candle and take this thing down. So did you take this?
No,
No.
but we did. It was a mistrade in London, and I remember us discussing it during the stream. The same
Now what
day.
happened after this?
So that was the second 15-minute close, the second 15-minute candle of the 30 minutes. So this one ended up closing like a strong bearish, and then it continued down further. Yeah, I don't have the aftershock, but I think I had it in the next journal. I think I journaled it twice,
Oh, okay.
like two different entries. But I remember it continued down further.
Okay. Is it somewhere over here?
Yeah, I think it continued all the way down to like 1.7.
All the way to the right, the last column, and down, and it's the XU. Yeah, perfect setup. Missed.
Wow. See, now this is nice. You got that strong bearish candle closing on a 30-minute, breaking the low. This is what I thought could happen. Like today, we have this low being formed. I thought we could push through some of those areas, even though, I mean, we had a clean move to the left today, kind of like that.
Yep.
Which, again, our trade today was not a bad trade. Maybe we could have managed a little bit earlier, but that's okay. But yeah, this is what I thought could happen. But the fact that this like kind of just happened, this is where you want to take pictures of those lower time frames, Quentin. So you got the 1 hour here. Here's the 15-minute. Yeah, if you take a picture of the 5-minute, we'll see if like, okay, did this this played out the way you wanted it to, even though you didn't take it. It's a trade that you journal, which is great. This is what you want to study. But this candle created that top wick, passed the low of that candle right there, and just kept pushing down. Ours stalled out.
Yes.
Ours stalled out over here. So it didn't do exactly what we wanted it to here in the 30-minute after breaking the low. As soon as it broke the low over there, it started retracing. So that's where you use the lower time frames to see, okay, what are we doing over here? We're holding support. Okay, once we start breaking above that 5 minutes resistance right there, that's where we should have maybe managed risk.
I think even with the bullish 15-minute close.
Bullish 15-minute close? Right here?
Yeah, the first
Yeah.
one.
Now, this is one thing that I've been going back and forth with my back testing is, you know, maybe closing 25% if that 15-minute closes in the opposite direction, because it still did close below that area. I've just really been working on not micromanaging trades.
Yeah,
so we closed below with that candle, just barely a bottom wick, weak bearish candle. This candle rejects that area again, closes bullish but closes below it, right? I just ended up closing, instead of closing after that candle closed bearish, still giving it a chance, I waited for that candle to create its bottom wick and pass the high of that candle before closing 50. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Looking back on it, maybe, yeah, I could have closed 25 there after that 15-minute close, and that's what
And
I'll.
it also depends on what's the idea behind your trade. Is it like I want to go, let it go, retest the lows, or do I want to get the impulse and so I'm managing more tightly?
Yes, exactly. Like this was more of an impulse entry where we're looking for this push into this area, and we would secure majority of it if we got that push into that, and that's around 50 pips we would have gotten right there, around 40, 45, right? And that would have been the 1-to-1, and it's like, okay, 80%, 90%, good. Let the rest run down to here, close another 50%, or fill this wick, you know. But again, I don't think what we did today was bad. We could just manage risk. But the more we keep talking about this right now, the more the setup is sticking in your minds. Just like the winning trades that we take and we just keep going over them and over them again. That's where you guys start to really memorize some of these setups, because we'll take a trade, let's say today, right? And we end up winning the trade. A couple weeks later, I could bring that same trade up to you the more we go through it. And you guys are going to be like, oh, I remember that trade. I remember exactly what we did. I remember exactly why it played out the way we wanted it to, and all that stuff. So again, professional traders, we come together to talk about trades, whether we win them or lose them, to see what we could do better on them. I know it's super easy to go over a trade, or it's super easy to lose a trade and not want to go over it, just want to flush it away and not remember it at all. But you don't want to be doing that, because you got to learn from your losses. It's easy not to journal a losing trade. It's easy to just be like, you know what, let's not add that to our journal, and let's
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing at some point before joining the group. It's very detrimental.
I remember you telling me that in one of our first Zooms. It's like, you're losing so much opportunity there to learn and get better. A successful trader is just a losing trader that didn't quit, and they kept learning and learning and learning and focusing on getting better every day.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, you are kind of lying to yourself, living that out of your journal.
Yeah, and you know what that does to your confidence?
Yeah.
Down the drain. All right. So just keep. I want you guys, and this is one thing I've been helping Sydney with, because I know Sydney hasn't been part of our lives and stuff like that, because he's managing his own business and he's trying to figure out his time management. But one thing I've been telling him and helping him with time management is that book, Deep Work. Quentin, you read that, right?
Yep.
I want you guys to have at least 1 to 2 deep work sessions today or any day throughout the week, right? Where you throw away your phone, put that on the other side of the room, and you just go in. And what you want to do is put on some concentrating music and just start journaling the trades that you missed last week. Seeing how you could have taken it, how you could have entered, how you could have managed risk if you needed to. What they look like on the 1 minute. Take a few screenshots of the 1 minute and the 5 minute. Okay, I'm starting to understand this price action a little bit more. Lenny, that'll be big for you. And that's how you guys get better. Concentrate on getting 1% better every single day. And I promise you, you will be very proud of yourself. Not too long from now. You start doing that every single day for the next few months. Wait till where you guys will be by the end of April or May. All right, guys.
Yep.
Any questions?
Good.
All good. All right. Awesome. Well, I will see you guys at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll finish off that account. Actually, I think we're only on the 17th, so we're going to finish that account on the 20th. And we're doing pretty well. I think we're at like 13% now. We were able to make up that previous loss that we had, and we're really cranking. So, good job today. Great job showing up. Let's keep the momentum up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Or I'll see you guys at 1.
Uh,
All right, guys. See ya.